Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Gaia and I'm a final year student at Nottingham-Trent University. I make university and lifestyle content, so if you're a university student or you're coming to university, I hope you stick around and click that subscribe button. So since the start of university and freshers is really soon, today I'm going to be telling you all of the things I wish I knew in Freshers Week. Even though I do feel like the pandemic did rob me of half my university experience, I'm glad in some respects that I did experience university pre and post-COVID, so all of this advice will be really useful for you. If you haven't already seen my university playlist, that is jam-packed with university advice and day in a life student vlogs. I will link it above in the cards, go click it. Other than that, if you do find today's video helpful, please give this video a massive like and let me know down in the comments what university you're coming to this autumn. Okay, so the first thing, which in my opinion is probably one of the most important things you need to do when you move into university halls during Freshers Week, is take photos of everything in your room and kitchen immediately. What I mean by this is take photos of any cracks, any dents in the walls, anything that looks broken in your room or communal areas. The reason why I say you should do it as soon as you move in is so you have dates and timestamps of that day. So when it gets to the end of the year, when you are hoping to get your deposit money back, you will basically be able to use those photographs as evidence. So your university or your student accommodation company can't blame you for like breaking anything because you can prove through those photos that you didn't do that stuff. Since you're going to be living in university accommodation, you're bound to find stains and broken items in your room because of the fact that people have lived there in previous years. This will also stop you from being blamed for anything that gets broken by your flatmates, in case they are the messy kind. It only seems like a small thing to remember when you move in, but it'll make you feel so grateful at the end of the year if you are able to get that deposit money back. The next thing I wish I knew in Freshers Week is something that's kind of controversial, and that is don't buy any fresher wristbands or packages before Freshers Week. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but seriously, don't do it. Like, just don't. Like, please don't. Trust me, I know you're going to want to ensure you get as many fresher tickets as you can and feel like you have that proper Freshers Week experience, but it's never wise to buy tickets beforehand because one, you don't even know who you're going to befriend during Freshers Week, and two, you don't even know whether they're going to want to go to the same events as you. Also, if you coincidentally find friends that want to go to the same events as you, you will find that a lot of fresher events are actually scams. I know I've mentioned this story a lot on my channel, but I really want to drill it into you because I really do not want you to make the same mistake I did. Okay, so I'll give you a little example. In first year, I spent quite a bit of money on quite a lot of fresher tickets that I didn't actually go to. One of the events being called F Me It's Freshers. I'm pretty sure it's like a national thing that's done at several universities. And do you want to know how much money I spent for that? £17. Yes, I'm not lying here. £17. Looking back, I wish I'd kind of seen that as a red flag, but silly me was just so desperate to get involved with all these fresh events, so I was like, screw it, I'll just pay £17. They basically told me on the website that there'd be loads of confetti cannons and UV paint. It'd just be like a wild kind of rave almost. Basically, when I got there, it wasn't in a big venue, it was actually in some creepy kind of old Irish pub, and it wasn't even in the pub, it was in the attic of the pub. When we got there was not a lot of people. There was probably like 15 other students. The rest of the people there were all of these kind of like dodgy older men who I'm pretty sure were not students or events organisers. And when it came to decorations, despite selling us this idea of massive confetti cannons and UV paint and that whole rave atmosphere, what was actually there was a few tiny balloons that you get at a fancy dress shop and a few glow sticks. And to top it off, we only spent like 5 minutes there just because of everything. So in the end, the £17 was really not worth it. So don't do that. Don't be like me. Please be sensible. Please do not buy fresher tickets before you get to freshers because a lot of the time they are scams. A good way to actually see whether a fresher week event is actually a scam or not is to check if they actually list a venue on the event's website and then go Google the venue. If it's a big club or like a well-known bar, chances are it's definitely going to be legit, but if they haven't been able to confirm the venue or it's somewhere that doesn't really have much of the Google history, chances are you're being scammed and it's literally going to be held in some attic like I found. If you're one of those people that is worrying about getting tickets and leaving it to the last minute, don't worry, because when it comes to Freshers Week, most universities don't sell out of Freshers tickets, so you'll definitely be able to get your hands on them. Or worst case scenario, you can always just queue up slightly earlier outside the venue and they'll let you in there, because they will always have a handful of tickets on the door, so please don't worry. The next thing I wish I knew was to invest in a power bank in Freshers. Honestly, this tiny device will save your life, especially if you are the kind of person that uses your phone a lot on a night out. This will seriously be your best friend when you find yourself at 3 AM with about 2% battery life and you desperately need to get an Uber or something. Not only are they really good for nights out though, they're also really good for university life in general. So if you have a long day of lectures or you are going to be spending all day on campus, it's a really good idea to bring a power bank just in case there isn't anywhere to plug in your device around campus. The next piece of advice I wish I knew was get involved as much as you can, because Freshers Week is literally the perfect opportunity to help you settle into university life. I really wish this was drilled into me in first year, because I don't think I appreciated or used Freshers Week to my full advantage as much as I should have. I did go out during Freshers Week and I did go to a few events and try out all of the fresher fairs, but I did still spend a lot of time during Freshers Week in my room, and I really do not recommend doing that. I know you're probably going to be nervous during Freshers Week because you might be the only person you know there, but as you've probably heard before, everyone is literally in the same boat as you and everyone else is nervous. So honestly, if you are the first person to just throw yourself out there and get involved, it will really make the rest of Freshers Week and university a lot easier and just overall better. The next piece of advice I definitely wish I knew, not only in Freshers but for the entirety of university really, is if you're one of those people that does want to go clubbing and stuff, I really recommend to sort out who's paying for the Uber before you leave to go on a night out. I really advise getting into the habit of transferring the money to whoever's going to be paying for it before you go out, because this will stop you from constantly paying for Ubers yourself, or either stop you owing a lot of money to your friends. I can't literally exaggerate the amount of times that I've had to be the one to pay for Ubers because I was the one who ordered it on my app and then my friends or flatmates didn't end up paying me back. And even though at the time it looks like it's only a £5 here or a £3 there, it does start to add up, and before you know it, you are going to feel broke. Vice versa, this is also really important if your friends are the ones who are constantly paying for Uber themselves, because the last thing you want is to have tensions between you guys because you keep forgetting to pay them back. So if I were you, if you're going on a night out with friends, I would just sit down and agree who's going to be paying what and transfer the money before you even get into that Uber, because once you're on the night out, trust me, you're just going to forget, and like I said, you don't want the trouble afterwards. The next thing is something slightly more COVID related, and is something that I realised during my third Freshers Week last year, which is invest in your own portable hand sanitizer. I know thankfully we're at that point where everyone's getting vaccinated now, and I think as a country we're starting to get a little bit more on top of things. Restrictions are easing and we are getting back to normality a bit, but cases are still around, you can still catch COVID. So even if you aren't one of those people that wants to use a mask anymore, it is still really important to sanitize your hands. Yeah, there probably are sanitizer stations situated around campus, but it probably is a little bit more hygienic if you just buy your own, and it's probably a lot easier because you can just reach into your pocket and grab it instead of trying to search for a sanitizer station around campus. So for the next piece of advice, I'm actually quite grateful that I never did this, but I definitely did see a lot of people doing this, which is flatcest. Just to point out, for those who don't know, flatcest is basically where you sleep with one of your flatmates. Don't commit flatcest. Just don't do it. I don't even need to really explain. Don't do it. It's not going to be worth it long term. It's just going to get really awkward and messy, and it's just not a good thing. Just don't do it. Like, your flatmates are your family, and trust me, from what I've seen, it's not pretty. Just like I said, just please don't do it. If you want to have a one night stand, just find someone else. Don't do it with your flatmates. It's not going to end well. Okay, so the next thing I wish I knew was to bring a pack of cards or some card games to Freshers Week. Before you say it, I know this looks like a pack of cigarettes, but I promise it's not. It is a brand new set of cards. It says gift gaff on it because it actually includes a free sim in it, and I actually got this pack in my welcome box during Freshers Week. The reason why I haven't opened it is because I already have a pack of cards. However, not all universities are going to include a pack of cards in your welcome box. So if you are someone who's coming to university, I really do recommend buying one yourself. It may not look like much, but it is such an amazing way to break the ice with new people. And the last piece of advice I want to give you guys is something I wish I knew in Freshers Week, that it's completely okay if you are someone who feels like they have no friends in the first few weeks. Freshers Week is literally such a crazy, manic, fast-paced experience that you're probably not going to find your friends for life immediately. Even if you do find your friendship circle during Freshers Week or throughout the next few weeks of university, chances are they are not going to be the same people that you are friends with at the end of the 3 years. Most people do actually change friends and friendship groups through their time at university. Personally, I'm not friends with all of the first people that I met during Freshers Week and the first few weeks of university, and that is completely okay. Like, I've gone through about several different friendship groups, and I've actually come out of university feeling like I've not actually left with that many friends, but that's completely okay too, because in life you don't always have a big friendship group. You don't always find your friends for life at university, so if you are feeling like you aren't clicking with people immediately, that is completely okay too. You are going to find your people one way or the other. You should never feel like it's a race to immediately find your friends and have everything sorted in Freshers Week, because that is definitely not going to happen. So those are all things that I wish I knew in Freshers Week. If you're coming to university soon and you have any questions about Freshers Week, please comment them down below. I will reply to them straight away the best I can. If you did find this video useful, please go click that like button right now, because the more likes I have on this video, the more I know you want to see more of these university advice videos in the future. Also, if you're new, I hope you stick around and click that subscribe button right now. But other than that, I've been Gaia. This has been some of the things that I wish I knew during Freshers Week, and I'll see you next week for more content. Bye!